Now, President Donald Trump was getting wrecked online after he tweeted, then quickly deleted, a post showing video of Michael Bloomberg. Now, Mike Bloomberg is the former mayor of New York City, and he was caught on video defending the very racist stop-and-frisk policy. So first, I want to show you that video, and then we'll get to Trump's tweet.
They just keep saying, oh, it's a disproportionate percentage of a particular ethnic group. That may be, but it's not a disproportionate percentage of those who witnesses and victims describe as committing the murder. In that case, incidentally, I think we disproportionately stop whites too much and minorities too little.
Oh man, look, that's a disaster. Oh, we stop white people too much and minorities too little. Michael Bloomberg, right there. And that's not the only video, of course. There's plenty of other video where that comes from. But Trump couldn't help himself. See, he hates Michael Bloomberg. He hates Michael Bloomberg because Bloomberg is richer than he is. And so he's gone to calling him Mini Mike, right? Especially since Michael Bloomberg has been running, he's taken out hundreds of millions of dollars in ad buys. And so all of his ads are basically him making fun of Donald Trump, as well as having, I don't know, dancing gingerbread men. It's the weirdest stuff, right? It's like a college student just learning how to edit and being like, you know what would be cool? If I were to throw a dancing gingerbread man in one of my videos. But some of his actual campaign ads, though, are pretty vicious, basically fat shaming the president. And so we've got that. Now, Trump, again, couldn't help but get angry, right? And so he goes and he takes this video of Bloomberg being obviously racist and then added, quote, "You're a total racist. Bloomberg's total racist." Now, people could not help but see the irony of this. So I want to give you some of the fun responses here. Pan Bills says, "Hey, Donald Trump, why did you delete your tweet calling Bloomberg a racist?" Mama Bear asks, or says, "The guy who called Mexicans rapists, the guy who denied housing to black and brown people, the guy who called black nations shitholes, the guy who says black voters have nothing to lose, that guy is calling Mike Bloomberg racist." I mean, really? It's kind of like pot calling kettle black. And so it is kind of hilarious. Now, Matthews says, if Bloomberg is a racist and so is Trump, all the conservatives attacking Bloomberg are complete idiots. Yeah. Well, they're trying to say, oh, no, we're not the racist party. What are you talking about? Yeah, actually you are. I mean, it's based in your policies and it's based in a lot of your rhetoric. And here's the thing about Bloomberg. Bloomberg used to be a Republican, not like back in 1987 or, in 1975, right? No. He was a conservative. He's a Republican since 2007, where he changed to independent. He may have changed his party name or party affiliation, by the way, but it really didn't change all of his policies. And so that's the issue. Now, no one tweeted, I mean, to be fair, Trump is right. Stop-and-Frisk is extraordinarily racist. But, he points out, no one points out, so is a Muslim ban. So are long-term border detention centers. So is calling someone Pocahontas when there's not their name. And ends with the overall point. Bloomberg being racist does not make Trump less racist. And I can't agree with that more. Samuel Morningstar says, peas in a pod, Central Park 5, Bloomberg. Are all rich guys, white guys in New York racist or what? Rob Dufresne says, more from President Projection, who calls other liars, frauds, and dumb. Bloomberg is a total racist. Brad Marchand says, shout out to Trump tweeting and deleting the Bloomberg racist video. He must have realized pretty quickly he can't risk intimating that racism is bad. Well, not when you have someone like Stephen Miller on your team. So now, that Bloomberg video, again, that's pretty terrible. But honestly, I don't expect anything differently from a former Republican up to 2007. If you look at the record, the rest of his record, it's pretty bad. I mean, stop and frisk, just harassing minorities, putting all the cops in minority areas so that they would bust people on possession, which is not a violent crime, by the way, and shouldn't be illegal in the first place. You fill prisons with black men. It's just gross. And then you look into what he did with Central Park 5, right? He actually tried to fight them from getting any sort of restitution even after they were exonerated of rape. They were exonerated from the crime. And so he continued to fight to make sure he didn't have to settle with them. You know who else was on that side, on that team? Donald Trump. At that time, Donald Trump was taking out full-page ads calling on the Central Park 5 to be executed. So don't tell me Bloomberg was on the side of the Central Park 5. He was most certainly not. And by the way, Trump, he also said, well, wait, when asked, they were exonerated. What are you talking about? Why should they be executed? Why should they go back to prison? I'm sure they did something. Complete and total racism. And look, that's kind of the mantra of both Trump and Bloomberg. Yeah, look, I'm sure these black people did something. So that's why we're going to put all the cops in those areas. That's why we're going to harass them. We have to push them against a wall, stop and frisk. We have to. That's the way we need to take out crime. I mean, we're dealing with a couple of pretty racist conservative people. The only difference is one of them is running as a Democrat. Yeah. And what's really problematic is that because Bloomberg has so much money, and he is blanketing the area with ads. And he's blanketing New Hampshire. He went after Iowa. Now he's rising in the polls. He's at 15% nationally, according to new polls, right? And I personally believe that Bloomberg is there as a foil to Bernie Sanders. And so, and Alik, you probably heard this before, and it doesn't make it any less true. I think that he is there to, again, spend all of this money, blanket all these areas in ads, rise in the polls, and then try to do everything he can to stop Bernie Sanders from becoming the Democratic nominee. Where Joe Biden fails, Mike Bloomberg picks it up. And he's actually gotten a lot more African American support. It's really amazing to see that he's actually risen with African Americans. And I'll detail that in another segment. But overall, on the Bernie point, I think if he loses the nomination, he'll run as an independent in order, again, to stop Bernie Sanders. And I think that at the end of the day, he's going to take a lot of never Bernie people with him. Which, of course, what happened to Blue No Matter Who? What happened to that? I mean, again, it's their mantra. But again, I guess it doesn't matter if it's Bernie Sanders. But that would be, of course, be the complete height of irony. Because just like Trump, Bloomberg's a racist billionaire. And the only reason that he's running, the only reason that he doesn't like Bernie Sanders or doesn't want Bernie Sanders to win is because he just wants to pay less in taxes. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.